Get ready for the Joe Morley Sports Show. What is up, folks? Welcome back to the Joe Morley Sports Show. I, of course, am Joe Morley. On this podcast, we will be talking about the Saints. Are they going to go all in this year? And I'll discuss if Dak Prescott is worthy of the top 5 quarterback pay. But before that, just a reminder, you can follow me on my daily activity on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Joe Morley Sports. I'm also working on new stuff for a YouTube channel, so you can find that on the Joe Morley Sports Show on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, you can also email me at joemorleysportshow@gmail.com, leaving messages on Facebook and Instagram. I like hearing for your feedback, so also a reminder to tell your family and friends, coworkers, anyone you know that loves sports about this podcast. Spread the word. Just don't keep me to yourself. Sports talk is what everybody needs, and especially needs at this time when there is no sports. We can always talk about the past or have questions and dive a little bit deeper as we have this time without sports to talk about what we want. So like I said, we're going to talk about the New Orleans Saints. The last time the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl, it was in 2010. So it was the end of the 2009 season, 2009 Super Bowl champions. So it was in January of 2010, January, February. And they defeated the Colts, led by Payton Manning. They defeated them 31-17. To most of the NFL, it doesn't seem like it's that long, right? I mean, when I still see Drew Brees and Sean Payton on the field together, I'm like, oh, dang, the last time, that's a great combo. They just won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. But I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong. It's been 10 years. 10 years, folks. That's crazy. 10 years. Now Drew Brees is 41 years old. 41. Holy cow. He should be retired by now, right? Remember when players were over the hill when they were 36? Now you got Tom Brady and Drew Brees playing in their 40s. They're still playing at high levels, which is ridiculous. So since the last Super Bowl title that the Saints had in 2009, the Saints have gone to the playoffs with Drew Brees and Sean Payton as their coach 6 times. 6 times, people. 6 times in the playoffs. 2010, 2011, 2013, 2017, 2018, and then, of course, last year in 2019. As a Raider fan, I can only dream what it would be like for my team to go to the playoffs year after year. That's just a major dream that, doesn't come often for the Raider fans. So 6 times in the playoffs since getting a ring. 6 times since they won that Super Bowl ring. Only 1 time in those 6 appearances did they even get to the conference championship game. That you should remember that championship game that they went to. That's the game where the referee was blind as hell. You guys remember that? I mean, there's no explanation for missing that call. That was the Rams versus the Saints, the NFC Championship game. Rams versus Saints, NFC Championship game. That's where the Rams quarterback, Robbie Coleman, he didn't give 1 care. He just went and just destroyed Saints wideout Tommy Lee Lewis. Remember that? He just went and he didn't care the ball was coming. He didn't care if it was pass interference. He just went and leveled them out. And that game right there created the bull crap that, the challenge allowable, to allow pass interference to be challenged on replays last season. And, the replays that the coaches were challenging and the referees wouldn't overturn. That play in the NFC Championship game, since that day, NFL fans, football players, coaches, announcers, anybody and everybody right now doesn't know what pass interference is. I mean, are the referees in the NFL so hard-headed and they refuse to be wrong that they want to be right? Like, they have to be right on their call 100% of the time. That's so much. They have to be right so much that they're willing to tarnish the game for that. I mean, I have to get back to the Saints, like I said, but the Zebras need to realize that there are jobs on the line every play. Horrible play call like that pisses off NFL fans. I've seen so many bad calls. I mean, I'm a Raider fan, so remember the damn tuck rule. I'm sure you do. Everybody remembers the tuck rule. The Saints. 6 times in the playoffs since their championship and nothing. They have done nothing to show for anything that they've done with Drew Brees and Sean Payton since then. Besides claiming that they could have won it with that pass interference call that year. I mean, they still would have had to gone on face the Patriots in the Super Bowl, so who knows if they would have actually won it. But the Saints still lost to the Rams. That one play made a difference. I mean, if the refs would have called that correctly, I wouldn't be talking about the Saints not doing anything for 6 playoff appearances, right? I wouldn't be talking about that. But the referees. So last season, Drew Brees got hurt, right? He's out 6 weeks with a thumb injury. Luckily, Sean Payton was ready for that. He had Teddy Bridgewater. Well, this season, Teddy Bridgewater goes to Carolina, right? He goes and signs his big deal in Carolina, takes over for Cam Newton. Sean Payton's like, oh, what are we going to do? We have Tyson Hill here. Can he back up Drew Brees? But what if Drew Brees goes down? He's 41 years old. We're trying to win the Super Bowl. We're trying to do whatever we want. And plus, Tyson Hill's a big utility offensive weapon, right? He plays everywhere. He plays quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end. Whatever you put him at, he plays it. So do you really want him just to be the quarterback if Drew Brees goes down? So no. So what do the Saints do? They go and sign veteran quarterback Jameis Winston, who I still like. I still think he's young enough to take over another team. You know, he had a couple flaws last year. He threw 30 interceptions. Yeah, he had laser eye surgery, which is funny because if you listen to Jameis Winston this offseason, he said he had laser eye surgery. He said he couldn't even see a stop sign when he was driving. So that how are you playing football when you can't even see that? But that's beside the point, right? So I think Jameis Winston is a good backup, good solid backup for Drew Brees, just in case. The Saints brought in Malcolm Jenkins. You know him, the safety from the Eagles. The last couple of years, he was also with the Saints when they made that Super Bowl run. The big move to me for the Saints was signing wideout Emmanuel Sanders. You know Emmanuel Sanders. He played in the Super Bowl last year for the 49ers. He won the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning. And, of course, he played in the Super Bowl with the Steelers against when they lost against the Packers. So that's a quality veteran signing. He's 33 years old. So he's a little old for a wide receiver, but he brings that experience. He brings the swag, that you need in that wide receiver for him. The Saints already have Michael Thomas, great wide receiver, probably the best in the game right now, right? But he hasn't been or had the experience that Emmanuel Sanders has. So Emmanuel Sanders could go in that building and get Michael Thomas's attention as well. To get Michael Thomas to listen to you is amazing, just because Michael Thomas wants to be where Emmanuel Sanders has been, right? The 49ers were a great team last season, great team. But when they acquired Emmanuel Sanders, it took them to the next level. They were good, and it made them great. And if you don't believe me, you can go ask those whiny-ass 49er fans. You can ask those whiny 49er fans, and they're out there somewhere probably still crying about losing that Super Bowl last year. Unless they already jumped off the bandwagon and tried to find a new team or went back to their old team, because that's what Niner fans are. They're mostly all bandwagon fans. Anyways, the Saints have a 41-year-old quarterback. Now they have a 33-year-old wideout. Alvin Kamara should be 100%. Dennis Allen, the defense coordinator, he's shaping that defense into a good defense. They've been a top 15 defense the last 2 seasons, which they can continue to gel and keep the staff together. So it should get better and better. In the draft, the Saints were able to draft a center in Cesar Ruiz to help stop the middle pass rush of the opposing teams, to give the 41-year-old Drew Brees a little bit more time in that pocket while the receivers get open. So next year, 2021, the Saints are already over the salary cap by almost $9 million. Alvin Kamara is looking for a new contract. He's only making $2 million this year. So that's going to go up a lot, especially since McCaffrey just signed $16 million a season. So the Saints don't get it done this season, you'll probably see the end of this great Saints team. It's going to be rebuilding time. They're going to have to focus on making tough cuts, of the veteran players. And even if they win the Super Bowl, I mean, do you welcome these guys back? You still have to make $9 million in cuts, plus get Alvin Kamara a new contract. So this Drew Brees, Sean Payton era looks like it's coming to an end. It should be an end, and that their dominance of this division and of the NFC will probably be over, and it will be over with one Super Bowl ring. So would you put that in as one of the great teams of all time, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, if they only had one Super Bowl ring? No. So they need to get it done this season, and they need to dominate this season. And we're speaking about dominance, right? Speaking about dominance in the NFL. Was there a better quarterback last season than Dak Prescott? I don't know. The Dallas Cowboys quarterback led the league, the league's number one offense. That offense right there was supposed to be ran through running back Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott was supposed to carry this team. Remember when Zeke Elliott was down in Cabo? He was drinking those apple teenies. He was checking out the girls, having a great time on the beach while the rest of the Cowboys were, at training camp putting work in. And then Jerry Jones goes and rewards Zeke. he comes back, Zeke comes back, and everyone's like, oh, Zeke's going to carry this team. And offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is like, nope, sorry. So, the Cowboys are a passing team. That's, Kellen Moore. So Dak goes out and he throws for 3,667 yards, 23 touchdowns. He completes 67% of his passes. And what happens? Of course, the Cowboys still don't win their division. They don't go to the playoffs. And they had, because why? They had Jason Garrett as their head coach. Why they kept him for so long, nobody knows. Everyone knew that he would find a way to screw it up. But who didn't love when Jason Garrett was clapping on the sideline after a horrible mistake made by his team, right? Anyways, the offseason comes. Cowboys get rid of Jason Garrett. Hey, have a good day, Jason Garrett. We're bringing somebody else in. Who does Jerry Jones want to bring in? He brings in former Packers coach Mike McCarthy. How about that? A running back coach, right? Wrong. So the Cowboys spent all this money on Zeke, and they bring in a coach known for not using his running backs. Remember his last season in Green Bay, right? Remember that last season in Green Bay, there was a hashtag floating around. Hashtag free Aaron Jones. That was trending like real big when Mark McCarthy was still in Green Bay. So McCarthy is now the head coach of Dallas Cowboys, and Dak Prescott is in his last season of his contract, because they Cowboys franchise tagged him. So Dak will make $31 million this year on the franchise. I hate the franchise tag. I'm sorry. If you can't sign the player before his original contract is up, that's on you. You shouldn't be able to tag a player for 2 years, even if they're making, the top 5 percentage of, top 5 pay of their position. You're asking the player to risk their careers on basically a 1-year deal, which the franchise tag basically is. It's a 1-year deal for a certain amount of money, and that's total BS to me. I wish the NFLPA would just eliminate the franchise tag. It causes holdouts, and it's just stupid. If you don't know who the player is or what the player is about after 4 to 5 years already on your team, then you need to let him walk, right? The Cowboys, if they don't know who Dak Prescott is and what he's about, they need to let him walk. So is it time to pay Dak Prescott? He's making $31 million this season. It seems like the Cowboys are fine with him playing the season on the franchise tag, and then they want to see what happens. Well, Dak's 26 years old, and he wants to make sure he's set for life, right? That's what anybody wants to do. They want to make sure that they're set for life. So he wants at least a 4 to 5 year deal. 4 to 5 years, and you give me that, and Dak will be happy. He wants the team to come out and say, hey, this is Dak's team. We commit to you. We want you to know that you're the leader of the Cowboys for the next couple of years, and that this is your team, right? So they want Dak. That's what Dak wants. So why did the Cowboys bring in Mike McCarthy, who is known for passing? Why keep Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator if you're not going to commit to Dak Prescott? Now, is Dak Prescott worth $40 million a season? Hell no. I don't think any player is worth that. Lucky for Dak Prescott, I'm not a general manager in the NFL. So don't laugh now. When I tell you this, try not to laugh, because you will, but try not to laugh. The highest paid quarterback this year is Jared Goff. Jared Goff of the Los Angeles Rams is the highest paid quarterback at $36 million. And if Dak signs his franchise tag, which he probably will, he will be number 2 right behind Jared Goff at 31.5, which is right above Seattle's quarterback, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's making 31. Of course, Russell Wilson just signed a contract, so he'll make 31 this year, 32 next year, 37 in 2022, and then 39 in the final year of that contract. So he's going to get close to that 40 million mark, and where Dak Prescott wants to be. So Dak Prescott might not be worth, or might not deserve 35 to 40 million, but that's what the market says he is worth. And the market says that Dak should get that money. So the Cowboys need to make up their minds right now. And I mean, make it up like ASAP, because the longer you wait, the longer the Cowboys sit there and wait, the more the price goes up for Dak, the more the quarterback prices go up, because every season, every day, a player is out there and his agent is trying to get more money and set that new price for the position, right? So the running backs are doing it, quarterbacks are doing it. They want to be that top guy, and they might not be that top guy for long, but they want to be that top guy. So they want to beat out the last guy whose contract. And what what sucks about quarterbacks' pays have gotten ridiculous. So much that it ruins teams. Everyone knows it. You know it. I know it. NFL teams know it. That because everybody's talking about it. Once you pay your quarterback, you basically are hurting your team for the long term. Seattle hasn't won a Super Bowl since they paid Russell Wilson. Green Bay paid Rodgers. They haven't gone anywhere. The Ravens paid Flacco. You all know where that ended up. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you have to pay Dak Prescott. Your offense isn't going to be focused around Zeke anymore. It looks like last season you focused on paying the wrong guy, right? So with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and now CeeDee Lamb in town, Zeke won't have to carry the load as much. So the team is Dak Prescott's team now. This is Dak Prescott's team, and you have to pay him. Anyway, that's my take on the Saints and the Cowboys this season. Like I said, they need to pay Dak Prescott. Is he worth it? No. But that's what the market says, and the market, you have to pay market value for your guy if you want to keep him. If not, let him go. Let another team pay him, right? This has been the Joe Morley Sports Show. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys do, and I appreciate you listening to me. Stay healthy, my friends. Stay healthy. Stay healthy.